Once upon a time, in a quiet riverside village, there lived three sisters, Oledo, Adana, and Mesuma. They shared a small hut and lived a simple life. Oledo, the youngest, was known for her intelligence and calm nature. She loved her family deeply. But one day, when she was just 10 years old, something strange happened. She suddenly stopped speaking. Her parents were terrified. They took her to healers, herbalists, and spiritual guides, but no one could explain why Oledo had lost her voice. As time passed, her silence became normal to them, and they eventually stopped searching for a cure. Oledo remained mute, but she listened, observed, and carried a secret she didn't even understand herself. Years later, during planting season, Oledo's parents were preparing to leave for the farm when, out of nowhere, she spoke. "Don't go today," she said, her voice trembling. Her parents froze, shocked to hear her speak after so many years. Adana and Mesuma stared at her in disbelief. "Why not?" their father asked. But Oledo said nothing more. She just looked at them with pleading eyes. Her parents hesitated, but eventually dismissed her warning. They had work to do, seeds to plant, crops to tend. Ignoring Oledo's strange request, they left for the farm. That afternoon, tragedy struck. A massive tree, uprooted by a sudden storm, crashed down on them, killing them both instantly. Back home, Oledo sobbed uncontrollably before anyone even brought the news. When word finally arrived, Adana and Mesuma were shaken to their core. How had Oledo known? Was it a coincidence? Or was it something else? Fear crept into their hearts. The more they thought about it, the more uneasy they became. Oledo's silence, a sudden warning, their parents' deaths, it all felt too unnatural. Whispers spread through the village. Some said Oledo was cursed, others claimed she was possessed. Adana and Mesuma, overwhelmed by grief and fear, began distancing themselves. They avoided Oledo, leaving home early and returning late at night when she was asleep. Days turned into weeks, then months. Oledo, heartbroken, withdrew even further. Then, one night, she disappeared. When Adana and Mesuma realized she was gone, panic set in. They searched everywhere, but found no trace of her. Regret gnawed at them. They had treated their own sister like an outcast, and now she was gone. Desperate, they sought out a powerful seer in a neighboring village, hoping to uncover Oledo's whereabouts. But on their way, they encountered an old woman struggling by the roadside. She looked frail, barely able to stand. Despite their urgency, they couldn't ignore her. "Please, help me home," the old woman pleaded. Though hesitant, they decided to assist her, carrying her belongings and walking the long distance to her hut deep in the forest. By the time they arrived, night had fallen. The woman invited them to stay until morning, and they reluctantly agreed. At dawn, they bid off farewell and continued their journey to the seer's hut. But when they arrived, something horrifying awaited them. Behind the hut, bound and helpless, was Oledo. Shocked and terrified, they rushed to untie her. The moment she was free, they ran, fast and far, never looking back. They didn't stop until they reached the old woman's hut. Breathless, they told her everything. The old woman listened carefully, then smiled. "I've been expecting you," she said. Oledo, still silent, stared at the old woman as if she understood something the others did not. The woman revealed the truth. Oledo was born with a rare gift. She could see the future. But an evil seer, the very one Adana and Mesuma had sought for help, had discovered Oledo's power and wanted to steal it for herself. "She needed your tears," the old woman explained. "Your sorrow would have allowed her to take Oledo's sight and her gift forever. That's why I intervened. I made sure you didn't meet her last night." Adana and Mesuma gasped, realizing how close they had come to losing their sister forever. "But there's one way to protect Oledo's gift," the old woman continued. "She must take your tears and rub them into her eyes. Only then will her power be locked within her forever, beyond anyone's reach." Without hesitation, Adana and Mesuma, filled with guilt and love, let their tears fall. Oledo took them, wiped them across her eyes, and at that moment, she spoke again. Her voice was clear, strong, and unwavering. "It's over." But it wasn't. Not yet. As they prepared to leave, the evil seer appeared, furious. She threw a dark powder into the air, making the sisters cry uncontrollably. She quickly collected their tears, rubbing them into her own eyes. Then she screamed. Instead of stealing Oledo's power, she had blinded herself. She had failed to see that Oledo had already sealed her gift, making it impossible for anyone to take. Now, the seer was left in darkness, forever. The sisters fled back to their village, their bond stronger than ever. Adana and Mesuma begged Oledo for forgiveness, and she, full of love, forgave them. She had seen the future after all, and she knew their hearts. From that day on, Oledo embraced her gift, using it to help others, and the evil seer, she remained lost in the shadows, a prisoner of her own greed. The lesson, what isn't yours, is never meant to be. coveting another's gift might just cost you everything. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It helps our channel grow. See you in the next one. See you.